Hey, so I'm just gonna intro this episode really quick. I already warned Alex. Alex, I think, is prepared to crash out on this episode, and that's fine because
I am currently crashing.
yeah, it's fine. I figured why not just yap a little bit more about business and life and home life and the motherhood season we are in. And I didn't even tell Alex this yet, I don't think, but I mean, I'm getting ready to switch seasons. It's the end of July when we're recording this, so that means school is starting up in about 3 weeks or so, 3, 4 weeks. Well, unless you're an East Coaster people start in September.
That's wild.
But I I'm about to switch seasons again in about 2 weeks, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm in this weird season of trying to batch everything with work because my home life is about to change again." And I know Alex is like, "I am so busy with weddings right now. I'm just gonna crash out, so it is fine."
I'm just drowning. I'm currently just drowning. Um, but we did decide yesterday that for
Me
the
and you
rest of the
decide,
summer,
or you and Daniel decide?
collectively, the three of us decided.
The 3 of us in this relationship plus Mark.
Mock.
Mac.
So we decided, Daniel and I, that we're gonna hire a babysitter for the rest of the summer,
Do
even
it.
just 2 days a week. Because before, even though he stays home, which we can get into as well, we still were like both hitting burnout. Like we're both
Mhm.
crashing out at all times, 24/7. And so we decided like 2 days a week, like 5 hours each day. Like even if we can both just have that, I think that would help so much with like the deep tasks that we need to like really focus on. So we're going to start that, but it won't last a super long time because school is about to start. Like you said, my girls go on August 25th. And so it's really like 3-ish weeks that we have.
Yeah, I was gonna say my season's changing. Time. Sorry, I don't know what I'm going with that, but because my babysitter, who is currently here right now, her she's a teacher, so she went to for like early childhood ed. She's going back to work. You know what I mean? Like teachers going back to work in a couple weeks. So that means my last day with Ashley with watching the boys is next week, and then I just Mercer will have a couple weeks off, and then he'll start 4-year-old preschool with our town like school system the first week of September. But then that's Monday through Friday. Like that's like legit like 4-year-old preschool, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel
Mhm.
about this. I'm kind of ignoring it. Um
It's so many mixed emotions. I feel like with every kid, the first time that they go is always hard. Like no matter how many kids you have, like each individual one the first time is really difficult, but then you see how much fun they have and like all the
mhm.
stuff they learn and how it's so good for them to be around other kids and like other experiences. And so that's really fun. But yeah, our girls are going to a new school this year and yeah, it'll be Monday through Friday, and then we'll have Ev at home, which she is a lot easier, like
Yeah.
she's 2.5 almost. And so it'll be like, I think Daniel and I will be able to kind of rotate a little bit better. And
I
she still has nap times.
Yeah, the one thing I'm like, quote unquote, like shit about is like Mercer's going from Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3-year-old preschool from 8 to 4 to Monday through Friday, like 9 to 1. And I'm like, okay, JJ doesn't nap until 2 o'clock.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay, so yeah, technically I have quote unquote childcare. Like he's at school, it's childcare, let's be honest. Um,
but you'll still have JJ the whole
but I'll
time.
still have JJ at home. And
But you could give Mercer like a quiet time in the afternoon, at the same time that
have
JJ
you
has
met
one.
me? Have you met my children?
I'm just saying, because well, each kid's different. Like
Yeah.
Nora napped until she was like 5 for like
Oh,
multiple hours. Gwen stopped napping when she was like 2.5.
yeah.
But
That
now
was
she'll
Mercer.
pass out any and everywhere. Um, but I would still do quiet time. I'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, you know what? We're still gonna have this period of time after lunch where you can read a book, you can watch a movie, like depending on what time of year, like you can go do this. But it was time to just like you'd learn to be a little bit independent.
I
Also,
mean,
I need to get work done.
I'm still hopeful that I can get some work done during nap time hours, but I'm like, with Mercer being home, most likely what is going to happen is he's gonna talk to me because all we do is talk. And then I'll be like, "Do you wanna play Minecraft for a couple hours?
Mhm.
Or do you wanna go outside and go play in the sprinkler?" Well, and then winter comes, and then I'm like, "Well, But at the same time, that's why I've been burning the midnight oil. I have 30 blogs scheduled. I
That is
have, like,
insane.
Pinterest. I just finished scheduling Pinterest for the whole month of August, and I'm like, "I have to do all of this right now because I know I'm about to go insane because I'm literally in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be in California, Oregon, Washington, and then I have all of my August weddings plus travel, and then it's September weddings, and I'm like and then October, I'm going from Wisconsin, Colorado, New Hampshire, Mm, no, Colorado twice. No, Wisconsin twice. Either way, I'm just like, I'm screwed until about the first weekend of November.
Yeah, and this is why we're like, we need to figure out our podcast schedule. We're so sorry, you guys.
I know,
Like
I like, part of us is like, "Okay, let's take a break in July," and then we felt guilty for taking a break, and then we're like, "No, we don't wanna take a break because we still wanna help you, and we love
mhm,
podcasting."
and we love yapping. Like, this actually is, like, recharges me.
It
Like,
really
just sitting
does.
here and talking and helping and, like, especially the DMs that we get when people are like, "This helped me so much, like, I was gonna quit, but then I listened to you guys." It's like, we just wanna keep doing that and keep talking,
Mhm.
and this really does help, but we're also like, this is, like, heading into busy season." We're trying to figure out a day, and I'm like, next weekend is the last weekend I have off for I think both of us for, like, 8 to 10 weeks in a row,
Yep.
and so we're like, I love that for
So, do
me."
we take the Saturday off, or do we wake up early and try to batch some episodes so that we don't disappoint y'all?
Yeah.
But then also, like, okay, this is our only Saturday off until
Yep.
November.
Mhm.
Shit.
The thing that I've been struggling with too is the Bramer County Fair is going on right now, and we've gone like every morning just to check stuff out or whatever, and then they have different stuff throughout the day.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, I don't have anything this whole week until like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I have sessions, but like the first half, I don't have any consult booked, timeline consult booked. Bride wants to talk about something, and so now I have one every single night, which is totally fine. Like I can't complain, but then those are the nights that all of our friends are like, "Hey, we're gonna go all meet up this one time." I'm like, the flexibility of my job, and I'm free 99% of the time. And then this time of the year, every single time somebody
Mhm.
is free, because it's usually a Saturday, is the one night that I'm like, I love FOMO.
Well, and I think the reason it's hitting us so hard this year is because we told ourselves, like, "This year we're gonna have to sacrifice stuff to get ahead," and like we said, we were gonna make this year a hustle year, and it has been a hustle year, but then at the same time, we're like, "Normally, I wouldn't be this, like, balls to the wall, and I could say yes normally," but because we decided to do a bunch of things this year,
Well,
it's
and I'm
just
trying to look at
different.
it gratefully. Like, we
Yeah.
have that choice,
Mhm.
like the fact that I can just be like, you know what? I do want to try to be more busy. And then, like, in times and seasons where that's needed. And so I'm trying to look at things a little bit more gratefully, but it's also really hard when you're just like, I feel so incredibly burnt out that I'm like, okay, it's gonna be fine.
And that's only the first 8 minutes of this episode. Like, we just went all over the place, holy crap. Okay, but, like, seriously, burnout. The other night, I was sitting in bed because I typically do my Pinterest, my like and I've told our coaching students I did a coaching call yesterday, and I told them, like, "Hey, I know my blogging, like, Pinterest strategy right now is aggressive. I'm not telling every single person that talks to me to go and do this strategy, but I am very much trying to encourage you, like, "Hey, I know it sucks right now. I know you're tired. 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes to, like, get your stuff out there. Get your things on Google, make an outline, pin a pin, like, even if you do 1, 1 is better than 0." And then, like,
Mhm.
I was just sitting in bed doing all of my Pinterest pins, I'm still watching Little House on the Prairie right now, and
I should watch that. That's basically my life.
it's honestly I have every single season on DVD, it's what I grew up watching, I still love it, but I'm just, like I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Okay, I need to shut my laptop. I'm done. My brain is done." And at the same time, then I was trying to not feel guilty for feeling done. But I'm like, okay, I'm doing so much right now and it's going to pay off. But then part of me, like, I'm always battling that other part of my brain. It's like, are you wasting time? Like, the wasted time is my biggest thing that I hate. And so I'm in this weird phase of Is this gonna pay off? Is this worth it? Yes, it's gonna pay off. It just takes time. Is this compounding? Well, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And it's like literally just an inner battle with my brain of like, you should go make a reel. And I'm like, I don't want to make a reel. I
I
want
think it's because not only are we business owners and trying to constantly like go more the direction that we want to or change or grow, whatever, but we're also moms. And so the amount of time that we have is so little that when we do work on something, we want to make sure that it's like doing the most. And
Mhm.
so I'm constantly doing that all the time. Like, okay, I have this much time to work. What can I do in this amount of time that's really going to work through this small time that I have that's gonna make the biggest impact, and then most of the time I just end up being like, "Did I answer that email? Oh, crap." Then I open up my Honeybook and it has a notification for something else, and then I'm like, I need you to do that task. Oh, wait, that reminds me. Did I reach out to that other person about the one thing?" It just, like, keeps going, and I'm like, "Okay." So I did get a planner.
Oh, yes, okay.
I
I
did.
saw that. I saw your TikTok. You got the planner, and I'm like in my head, I'm giggling because 'cause I'm like, "Alex is gonna use that for, like, 2 minutes, but I want to encourage her to use it."
You know what? I'm gonna try my best, but I really like it so far.
I love planners. I love to-do lists. I have my little pen and paper on my coffee bar that I write my daily schedule out. So, like, right now, my daily schedule today was podcasting, coaching, um, editing. I'm going through a gallery right now. My goal is to deliver this gallery by Thursday. And what else was on my to-do list? Oh, clean the cat boxes. Yep. Mom life.
It's
Mom of
just funny
cats,
because,
mom
like,
of kids.
our schedules daily schedules probably look very similar because we do half of our work together, but, yeah,
It's
I was
because you
like
can't live without me and I can't
but
no, I'm just kidding.
but, yeah, podcasting, coaching, editing, and then I have a consult with a potential new couple for next year. We're doing an in-person one. We're meeting for coffee, so
Ooh. So, okay, you're deep into, like, burnout right now, like, deep
LOL.
into busy hustle. Not saying I'm not either, but, like, just take me through your day right now. I feel like it could just help so many people feel seen, where it's just like, "Okay, I
Ugh.
I'm exhausted, but I'm still here." Like, how I wanna just help people feel seen, basically.
Basically, put your struggles out there so that other
No.
people can witness how chaotic you are.
I
So,
mean, no.
every day has been different. I think that's okay, that's a little side tangent. That's one reason I think it's been so difficult is because we don't have much of a set schedule right now because it's summertime and we have different things going on. And Daniel's job is really dependent on orders that he gets with roasting. So his schedule's never the same. Like one week he
Mhm,
could just have like one day he has to roast, but then he could wake up one day and he has multiple orders. And so he's like, "Oh, I have to go roast for a couple of hours." So that can really change. But the one thing that we usually always do is like every morning, wake up. My favorite thing, I sat outside this morning for like 30 minutes watching my chickens and ducks. I'll just go outside, feed them. I was also checking out all the storm damage because
I think Waverly got hit harder. Like,
it there
like,
were
people
80
that
mile
don't
an hour
know,
winds.
yeah, we live, like, 15 minutes apart, and I slept right through it. We supposedly got a derecho? I'm gonna call it a derecho. I don't think it's called that, but, I mean, yeah.
It said hurricane force winds
Mm.
up here. And so luckily my apple tree is looking a little sad, but
Oh.
everything else, like our neighbors have some branches down, but we didn't have anything like too bad. In town, there's like trees and branches and the fair, they had to go like in the morning, tents were like flipped over and crumpled and like porta potties were flipped completely
I
over.
saw that in the Waverly group,
It
and I'm
was
like,
bad.
trying not to quote, "Shitter's full."
Yeah. Oh, but,
Ugh.
yeah, so other than that, like, my mornings, I like to just kind of have a slow morning. The first thing we do is walk down the stairs, turn the espresso machine on, and then feed our chickens, duck, dog, and then after that, we'll make breakfast together, and then usually right after that point is when I will try to get work done. Typically, my favorite way to get work done is to go out of the house. So,
Mhm.
usually I'll make any excuse to not do that sometimes because I'm like, I just don't want to like take all my stuff somewhere and whatever. Like, I just want to be here. So if I need to do something, but I truly get so much more done being out of the house. And that's one reason we decided to hire a babysitter because we just, as much as we want to be able to like, that is one luxury of both being home. We can be with our kids, we can hang out with them, we can do all the things, But I think one
Being with your
thing
kids 24/7 is
24/7
exhausting.
and trying to work and, like, we're both home, both trying to work, and that's really difficult. We can tag team it a little bit, like, Daniel will make the meals one day while I'm trying to get work done and vice versa, and, like, he's been doing a ton of laundry, and that's, like, super helpful. But the funny thing about that is, like, since we're both home and we're all home all day, there's, like, more cleaning to do. Like, when they're in school or daycare or something, you can clean something and it stays clean mostly because they're not
Uh-huh.
home. Well, this is just, like, a constant. Like, I just picked this room up 2 minutes ago, and now there is are, like, little beads everywhere. Like, what is happening? Um, but the thing that I think I don't hear anybody talk about when it comes to both parents working at home and being at home is I think my kids are developing a problem of being way too codependent on us. Like,
Mm.
and they're not like when I was a kid, it was like, okay, go play outside. And you literally almost like there were days where my parents or like my friends' parents were like, don't come in the house. Like we're cleaning, we're doing something. And we would just like be outside all day. I would go out when the sun came up. I would come back like hours after it went down. And that was my summer. I think because we're here, they're looking for constant entertainment all the time. So it's not even like we're just here with them watching them or like trying to get them to play outside. It's like constantly, where are you going? What are you doing? When are you going to be back? What are you like? Can you help me with this? And that part is driving us nuts. We're like, you need to learn to be a little bit more independent. Like,
The overstimulation though, because Mark is working from home today. So, like, it's a full house. Like, I'm home, Mark's home, the babysitter here with the boys, and it's just like, I just need someone else to watch them for 2 seconds because my brain like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure your brain does this too, but, like, when you want to be in work mode and your brain is in work mode, and then, like, mom mode is just like, "What are you doing? Are the dishes done? Did you switch the
mhm.
laundry? Actually, shit, I
Yep.
need to switch the laundry because otherwise JJ won't nap without his favorite blanket." And I'm
Yep.
like, "Well, can't do that right now." But, it's just like it's trying to switch back and forth between mom mode and work mode, and then trying not to get frustrated when you are in work mode and you're like, "Give me 5
Mhm.
minutes, I just wanna finish this task." And then you finish the task and you're like, "Oh, I probably coulda just answered that question quick, I'm
Yep.
sorry."
I find myself being way more short-tempered because when I'm in a mode of something, I'm,
Mhm.
like, trying to be in that mode, and yeah, so it's like, "Where did I see that? I don't know. I don't know. Where'd you put it? I can't right now."
Yeah.
Just like
I'm gonna lose
I'm gonna lose
it.
it. I'm crashing out.
That should we need a t-shirt that just says, "I'm gonna lose
I'm gonna lose it.
it."
But, the funny thing is I didn't even really realize it because like, I don't necessarily I do like going to work other places, and I also don't. I have a love-hate with it.
Mhm.
But when I came home that day, I had so much like Daniel pointed out, he was like, we have to hire a babysitter, you have to work outside of the house. Because when you do that, you're able to focus and it actually gives your brain time to he's like, you're thinking about he literally was like, you're thinking about being a mom and you're thinking about working at the same time when you're at home. And he goes, and then I can tell that you are feeling guilty. You're feeling mom guilt because you're trying to work. But then it's not helping. Like the two sides are fighting against each other. And he goes,
Mhm.
when you were working outside of the house the other day and then you came home, he was like, you had so many ideas. Like you felt accomplished. He's like, I haven't seen you come home and be like, okay, I have this idea. I have this idea. I have this, and this is what I'm going to do. He's like, you need that and you need to not feel guilty about that. And that really helped. I think when your spouse can help point those things out and is also fully on board, because it wasn't always like this for us either. Like when I first started my business and had it and was a stay-at-home mom and he worked outside of the house, it was like he had no concept of what it was like to own a business or wasn't
Mhm.
around my business long enough to actually see everything that went on. And now that he has over the years and also has his own business, he fully understands. Like that was one thing that I was telling him that I'm so grateful for is like we understand each other's roles. So, and one thing he said, he's like, I don't think parents who work outside the house, like if somebody's a stay-at-home mom or a work from home mom, he was like, "I don't think people want to admit that that's so much harder than going to a 9 to 5." And
Well,
I was
you
like,
get the
"Oh,
adult time, you get to decompress, you get because adults aren't constantly touching you. And
mhm,
also, we love our children. We will go to like, we will do everything for our
100%."
children, but we still are going to admit this is hard, especially when we want to grow our business, especially when you want to travel and do destination work. And then it's like, okay, do I have childcare? Are my kids coming with me? Can I like what am I doing? And then also like Mark is now taking eBay, like, more seriously with his 3D printing, and, like, the box sets have done great, and he's doing more 3D printing for other people, and he's just like, "I don't really you do the business stuff." He's, like, just now getting started into, like, how do I start a business? How do I do these
Mhm.
things? How do I market?" And he's like, "You know how to do all these things," and, he's, like, easily getting like, "Should I do this? I don't know." And I'm like, "Honey, we're gonna do it. Just shut up."
Yes. I It was the cutest thing this morning. Daniel was testing new roasts with his new roaster, and he was like, "Do you have your, phone tripod?" And I was like, "Are you gonna make content?" I
You gonna
was,
be
like,
content
so
girly?
excited, and then but I got, like, the magnet one, and it doesn't work for his iPhone, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll
Oh,
just record it for you." And so I was, like, recording him, like, making these different pour overs and stuff and trying to send him. He was like, "Okay, okay." And then he was, like, trying to come up with ideas, and I was like, "Why do I love this so much?" Uh,
like, and Mark still goes to like, he's working from home today, but, like, it's IT, so, like, he has the flexibility of going into the office and still like, he likes going to the office because he likes to help people, but it's just so different when everybody's at home, and it just I feel like do you remember COVID days when everybody was at home and you
mhm.
kinda go stir crazy and everybody just started going for walks?
Yep.
And it just there
All the
that's what
kayaks were
it feels
sold
like
out.
sometimes, but also that's why one of my biggest goals, like income goals, is to build my she shed office. 1, so I can leave my podcasting gear set up all the time and no cats and no children can touch it. But 2, it's like, okay, I feel like I'm leaving the house, I'm going to work, and in reality, I'm just stepping into my backyard. But I want to be able to separate my work brain from my mom brain, and it is so hard when my current office is in my bedroom.
I am trying to figure out what I wanna do with that because we're redoing the upstairs of our house right now, which is a whole other thing. I think that's adding to my crashing out because we had an exterior wall replaced on our house and had to stay out of our house for a week, and then Daniel was fixing that up, and that's, like, 90% done. And then we went upstairs and we have to do the drywall because it went up into our room. So the drywall in our room is still not done, but then he decided to do all the floors too. So like all the furniture in our room and our kids' room is like pushed into the middle of the room. I don't have a closet. Like, so there's just a pile. There's a pile of clothes down here on the couch in the basement. Like things are just everywhere. And so I'm like, my mind's a mess. My house is a mess. Everything's a mess. And and that what is not helping contribute to the burnout. But I'm trying to decide if where I want to put my standing desk and walking pad for like my office because I was
Mhm.
like, I don't think I want it in my room anymore because it was in my room. And I was like, I don't think I want that. Like, I think I need the separation. So I might make a space down in the office or in the basement. And before I didn't want to do that either because I was like, it's like a dungeon down here, like, the windows.
Uh-huh.
But the other part of me doesn't care. So I think I'd rather that than in my bedroom.
Offices are offices? An office, there we go,
Office eye?
is I feel like it's hard to have an office as a photographer because when you're in editing days, I don't know about you, but I need to be in a cave. I need it to be dark. But then, like, when I'm in happy-go-lucky work mode, that's when I like working at the coffee shop because I like to body
Mhm.
double and I like to do all of my blogs, my SEO, and my Pinterest, and, like, just basic computer work, location scouting. I like to do that at a coffee shop around people in sunlight.
Yep.
But, like so it's I feel like it's so hard planning out an office as a photographer because I need blackout curtains, but I don't want blackout curtains all the time. Because I started with my office in the basement, hated it because
Right.
I mean, I love our basement. Our basement is very much a dungeon. I cannot work down there typically unless I'm editing, because then I'll sit on the couch at, like, 2 AM editing while watching, murder documentaries while editing weddings. I was like,
Uh,
I don't know if that's weird to watch certain true
no.
crime documentaries while editing a beautiful, gorgeous wedding."
I always listen to the podcasts. Like, I love Crime Junkie and stuff, and have you seen the reels where they're, like, feeding their kids, like, a nice lunch, or they're, like, planting flowers, and there's, like, music playing, and it's, like, what they think we're doing, and it's, like, this calm music playing, and then it's, like, what we're actually listening to, and they're, like, serving veggies on a tray, and it's, like, "And then she was bound."
Yes, literally, no, that I thought about making a really
Like
funny, TikTok the other day while I was traveling, and I was like I had my AirPods in, I'm like, "What you see?" And it's, like, me, like, editing what
Do,
I'm
do, do,
listening
do.
to. Like, I'm listening to 2010s rap. Like, it's fine. I grew up on Eminem, it's fine.
Ah, so
Okay,
funny.
besides all of our random tangents, just work right now is a lot. It's summer, it's busy season, it's kids everywhere. I feel like if we go through a rapid fire of what we're doing right now to just stay afloat.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some people, if you're listening to us now, you're like, "Okay, I wanna do a hustle season. I wanna do what you guys are doing." But, like, also I wanna, like, set the realistic expectation. You are going to sacrifice a lot during a hustle year, but are you willing to do that for 6 months to a year to get where you really wanna go?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I have a very aggressive blog strategy, very aggressive Pinterest strategy because in quarter 1 next year, I I wanna take a vacation. I wanna take time off. I want to have all of these systems in place now, and I'm losing my mind now, but I'm like, if I was willing to do this for 6 months to a year to get ahead all of next year, is it worth it? And I feel like the answer is yes.
Okay, so let's maybe like map out a little bit. Let's talk about like some of our goals going into next year and like maybe just like touch on the things that we are doing or sacrificing to get there and like why. Like I know
Um
you said vacations and
mhm.
stuff.
'Cause, so typically in July, we would usually do a family vacation, and we did not do that. Instead, I did a mom weekend away to get work done and also photograph. So next year, I would very much like to be able to go back to taking a week family vacation in July because I typically don't book July weddings. 'Cause I am bougie and it is way too hot in July in Iowa, and I don't wanna do it. But this year, I was like, "No, it's fine. We're getting places, we're doing things." But I'm like, "Also, we should stitch this next summer and be like, did we achieve these goals?"
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hustling this year. I have sacrificed my Saturdays. I have sacrificed a lot of weekends this year. Like, we were telling people, um, August 9th is our last Saturday off, if we even take it off until November. So, like, I
Mhm.
Saturdays are full work days this year, but I'm using those work days to get content, to blog, to get the dream clients that I want. So hopefully this time next year, I will have dream elopements booked in the locations that I'm blogging for now. I will hopefully only be working 2 Saturdays a month max next year. And then I can take go back to taking Sundays off again. Just I like having Sundays off for brunch with my sister and my cousins. And I guess these are my priorities to me is I wanna go back to being able to say yes to my sister and my cousins when they're like, "Hey, you guys wanna go get brunch?" And I'm like, "I have a wedding." Like, I wanna
Mhm.
go back to like, I have all the systems set up from the content and the weddings and the people I'm helping this year to make it so that I have my max budget and I have everyone booked and planned out next year, but at a lower quantity rate.
Yes. Yeah, I feel that. I so as far as vacation goes, we go once every summer with Daniel's family. But then we have done our own family vacations or tried to. When we first started doing them, it was like I would have a wedding in Florida. So then we would all go and then take a few extra days.
Mhm.
This year we're doing that. I have one in the UP, and so we're doing that too. But we also this last February went to Florida for like it was our first time going on a vacation where I didn't have work booked. And so that was really nice. I want to start making a habit out of doing that. But I want to get to a place where my brand and everything is being done for the first time, and so I'm really excited that's being done in August. And so I really want to push that out and get into the a style of weddings that I'm really excited for and want to push for that and book more of those and then be booking less. So I have 25 weddings this year and it is really difficult when people are like, "Hey, let's go do this on Saturday or let's go do this." And I'm like, LOL can't. Um, and I knew that would happen, like sacrificing that, sacrificing a lot of no's this year that I've had to
Mhm.
deal with. But if I just like keep pushing, doing this, I'm hoping next year to be in a position where I can maybe take like max 15 weddings. So then I know that I have a lot more weekends free, and then I'm also like this October, I was like, "Okay, I'm not doing," like, because usually in the fall, because 'cause we're gearing up for slow season in the fall, and so you kinda hit this like, "Oh, I wanna make sure that I'm, have enough extra money for the holidays and stuff like that." And so I would always, like, push a bunch of, like, random sessions along with my
Mhm.
wedding, so seniors and families, and I decided, I was like, I'm already hustling so hard this year, like, I'm not doing that this year. I wanna be able to take my kids to a pumpkin patch and, like,
Mhm.
do the fun things. And so I want to just be more mindful. I wanna make sure that I don't have to say no so much next
Yeah.
year.
I think my biggest goal with having a hustle year this year was also I hit the reset button because I was feeling kind of frustrated as I like 2 years ago, 2 3 years ago when I first entered motherhood and like realized none of this is gonna work the way it did pre-kids. And that's why it's like, I need a reset year, I need a hustle year so that I know where my time actually needs to be spent. Because, like, I was like, if I hit reset and I do all these systems this year, I purposely sacrificed a lot this year, but that way now I have systems set up. So it's like, okay, on this date, I'm releasing these minis. Next year, I'm doing these 3 micro mini marathons, and that's it. I'm not just randomly gonna post. I'm scheduling when I'm gonna post. I'm treating my business like how Target treats like, okay, we're releasing swimsuits in into December, January for the March season. We're
Mhm.
releasing back to school stuff at the beginning of July for August, September. I'm treating my business exactly how large CEOs treat their business so that next year I don't have to be like, "Oh shit, I need $500 quick," or "I should do a mini session." And, like, don't get me wrong, my ADHD is still gonna tell me to do those things, but I wanna have it set up in such a way that it's like, "Okay, if my ADHD decides I wanna do this right now, okay, I can, but I already had the other systems ready to go. I already have the blog scheduled. I already have the Pinterest scheduled. I already have like, these are my set days for mini sessions. These are my 10 to 15 wedding weekends. These are my travel weekends." This like, I'm setting up such a like this schedule in such a strategic way that it's like it lets me be random without having to feel crazy. Because like I
Right.
feel like when I first started doing motherhood, I was crazy. I was all over the place. And then I would have extreme burnout, extreme like this isn't working. I'm going to burn this to the ground because I couldn't balance both. I was trying to do 100% on both and I'm like I have to get into a better schedule, and that's why I'm like, yeah, this year has been a lot. This year to a lot of people is like, how are they doing it? But I'm doing it because, like, if someone were to ask me why, I'm doing it so that next year I don't have to do this again.
Right. Well, and I think another reason that we wanna do this too and, like, share it is because when we look at people who are where we want to be, or you're looking at somebody, you're like, "How did they get there?" And it feels like they just did it overnight.
Or they
Like,
got lucky.
it feels like they got lucky. It's like you don't know everything that goes behind the scenes of that. So we wanna hit it where it's like, we're doing all the things that we wanna do, and people are like, How'd you do that?" And we can look back and be like, a lot of work." Like,
Mhm.
here's exactly what we did. Here's how late we were staying up. Here's all the things we had to do. And like, it's worth it, but it's just proof that it doesn't just happen. Like,
Here's my mentee B
here's,
for
yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah. Save this for a little mentee bee convo.
Eh,
But
yeah.
another thing that we were talking about too is like you were talking about planning things in advance. Having a planner, literally a physical planner. I'm like, I want to think even as far like as little as content stuff. It's like if you are a photographer who does like Valentine's minis, like you can schedule out in December, like releasing and just being. I know photographers who only open like 4 weekends a year for sessions, and, like, that's what they book, and that's how they book out because they'll load those 4 weekends of
Mhm.
sessions, and everybody knows because of consistency and how they market and, like, rinse and repeat that that's how they're gonna do it every single year, and so people know that's it's releasing on this date, I need to sign up by this date, and they just do that over and over and over again.
I think the hardest part for photographers legit is we love art, we love photography. The marketing part and the business part for the majority of people doesn't really come natural. And, like, if the business part does come natural, sometimes it's like, "Oh, I'm just business, business, business." And then it's like, "Okay, well," like, there's so many different aspects of people in the photography world where it's like, "Okay, I wanna make money." There's those photographers that are just, "I wanna make money." There's the photographers that are like, "I just wanna do art. I don't know how to do anything business." And then they end up quitting because the business part is the hard part, and the marketing, like, trying to figure out, like, when people are saying, like, when I'm saying, like, I have a blogging strategy. I used to be that person that was like, "What does that mean?"
Mhm.
And it's like, it's taking the time to do the business part is what's gonna get you ahead, not just doing the flashy reels and TikToks and everything. And I know some people listening are like, "Okay, but what does that mean?" And for me, that legit means making a plan. Like, I want to book this out and then reverse engineering it. So, like,
Mhm.
this year has basically been a giant reverse engineer for how I want 2026 to go. What sessions I want, what weddings I want, what dream locations I wanna book. And I'm like, I'm super excited because I've gotten inquiries for the Tetons. I've gotten inquiries for North North Cascades, and it's so funny because in one of our early episodes, like, I don't know, episode 6, when we were talking about how I make destinations work, you were like, "What's your dream elopement?" And I spelled it out for you. I got that inquiry, and I have a consult booked with that person. So I'm like, "Spell it out, reverse engineer it, say what you want, and then make a plan to get there." Like,
Mhm. Like, you
stop
have to
just
work backwards from your goal. Like, set
Yeah.
your goal and actually take a piece of paper and work backward. Like, "Okay, I wanna do this thing in this place." Like, how do you get there? How do you market that? Like, work all the way backward and give yourself an actual plan, and that'll make you feel so much better. One of my issues is I'm so incredibly multi-passionate, and
Mhm.
so I think that's so hard for me because some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, "You know what? I actually decided that I am going to be a TikTok creator today." And,
Oh,
like,
I did that the other
I
night. I told you, I was like, "I'm gonna do TikTok shop."
Yeah,
I was like,
and
"Why not?"
we both have it, and it's fun. I think it's just because it's a fun outlet too, but, like,
Honestly.
having that and then one day I'm like, "Nope, I am going to be, like, the specific photographer in this specific state for this very one thing." And then the next day I'm like, "Actually, I'm a painter now." And then the next day I'm like, "I'm actually an interior designer, so I don't know anything about that."
Which is so funny because you legit were like, "Did we find a hobby?" And I replied back to you, "No, because we monetized it." Like, we're so bad at finding hobbies because then we find a way to monetize it. But
Literally.
one thing, I think we should do a full episode on this too. I was also talking to our coaching students about a site like the buyer psychology, buyer types, like how people buy. And because so one thing our students have like told us before is like they're struggling with traffic. They're struggling to get like traffic in the door, or they don't know, like, so we'll say they do get the traffic in the door but then they ghost. And I was trying to help them analyze what kind of buyer they attract and like what kind of people they attract, which goes further than just like their ideal client. And so I feel like we need to do a full episode on that, but we'll see if we get any comments on if people are like, "What do you mean? Buyer type, buyer
Right.
psychology?"
Mine was not
Uh,
surprising at all.
I'm not surprised that we attract emotional people. We are very emotional people that get
Excuse me,
overly
what?
invested.
Oh,
Uh, but I feel like this was just a good catch up yap. This is what we're doing. This is just another episode letting you know we are in the trenches with you. I know I posted an Instagram story last week, just like, "Hey, we're doing this right along with you. This
yeah.
is us in our own businesses and in the podcast."
Mhm.
And yeah, we might do another
Who
episode
else
on
is
buyer
drowning with
psychology.
us? LOL.
Literally.
Oh, but for real.
So I think we'll wrap this episode up this week, and we we are trying our best to make sure we still keep weekly
Yes.
episodes while also giving you a
We are
rest.
so sorry, but we're also
Just
not. We have to do what we can.
yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're loving. Let us know what you're struggling with, and maybe we'll tailor an episode directly to you.
Facts. See you
All
next
right,
Tuesday.
bye.